If you're not the better team, you're going to have to hustle to win. If you are the better team and you hustle, you'll have a result like Syracuse did tonight. 87-77, the Tar Heels over the Orange. North Carolina was dialed from the jump.
Carolina set the tone right from the beginning with their, just the physicality on defense, inside in the paint, scoring, and I just thought, our inability to get anything constantly going on offense was a big issue. They started switching everything, and again, we didn't make the ball move as we would like.
Autry thought that made the difference. His players, not so much.
I don't think they were super duper physical. I think they had their moments when they was going on their runs.
It's no secret Syracuse is not the powerhouse it once was. The Orange are on their longest tournament drought since the 60s. Third fewest since SU moved to the Dome. It also happened to be the year where the Orange went 14-19, their lowest winning percentage since 1969. Syracuse plays SMU for just the second time ever. The first came back in 1932. So what do people remember from 1932? Well, we're in the heart of Atlantic Coast country, Dallas, to find out.
Sometimes I be with them in their meetings and they coach say to them you gotta have soft eyes.
All that talk about soft eyes makes me wonder if I have them. So Syracuse plays at North Carolina today, and there's an inch of snow on the ground in Chapel Hill, which apparently means classes are closed. So we came to the UNC campus to figure out what students do on snow days. Well, apparently they don't do much because everything in this city comes to a halt. You won't win football games if your quarterback isn't comfortable. Syracuse has found that out the hard way. Last week it was a loss to Duke. This week, a loss to SMU on the road. The first time Fran Brown has had back-to-back losses as head coach of the Orange. The main culprit has been Ricky Collins.
One of the hardest places to play in the country, and a big reason why, it's the student section here today. These fans are loud and rowdy.
The very next year, Dome crowd shot back up to over 20,000 per game for Jim Boeheim's final year. The following season only dropped by about 100. This year, SU only hosted one power conference team in its non-con slate, Tennessee, and it was only because the Orange had to with the ACC-SEC Challenge. Because if the product isn't worth seeing and neither is the opponent, well, then you get numbers like you have this year, just 16,571 per game. So what did we learn? Well, it's been a while. In Dallas, Hudson Ridley, Citrus TV. Right now, Syracuse has just 71 total yards of offense in the first half. North Carolina, who averages 110 rushing yards per game, has already run for 122 after one half of action. So something has to change for Syracuse. Luckily for the Orange, they deferred to the second half, so the Orange will get the ball to move from left to right. Jaden Hart and Tyleek Hill, the two returners for Syracuse who head back deep. It's Reese Verhoff to kick it off for North Carolina as fans retake their seats in a sparse Friday night Dome crowd. Verhoff jogs up to the ball and boots it deep. Heads towards Hill on the left side of the left end zone. Takes it at his chest and kneels in the end zone. A touchback and the ball heads out to the 25. That is where the Orange offense will start in the second half, with quarterback Joe Filardi going back out there. The question marks at halftime: will Filardi return after going just 1 for 11 in his first half as a starting quarterback in collegiate football? Well, he's back out there as the Orange start this drive at the 25-yard line. 10-6, SU leads as Filardi breaks out in the I formation. Yasin Willis, the back behind him, waves his wide receiver Emmanuel Ross over to the far side. Filardi claps his hands, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out right, dumps off in the flat, caught by Ross at the 25, knocked out of bounds past the 33-yard line, and the Orange get close to the first down marker. A pickup of 8 on the dump off to Emmanuel Ross. It brings up 2nd and 2 for Syracuse.
That's fine. If it's those dump offs that is what can lead to Filardi being successful, getting these 8-9 yard gains, so be it.
Ball on the near hash mark on the Syracuse 33-yard line. The Orange go with a heavy formation. 2 tight ends to the left side of the line. Yasin Willis, the back to the left of Filardi. Claps the hands, takes the snap. Handoff, Willis stonewalled at the line of scrimmage and pushed backwards all the way to the 30. A big push up front on the defensive line of North Carolina. DeAndre Robinson, the Florida transfer, getting all the momentum, and it is 3rd and short for the Orange. Just a minute into this second half, and SU staring down another 3rd down. Filardi retreats back from his offensive line, moves into the gun. One receiver to the near side. It's Jonte Cook one-on-one with Jaden Patterson. The back to the left of Filardi is Will Nixon. He sends him out into the flat. Takes the snap, pressure off the left side, dumps off to Cook, through his hands and incomplete. Fired for Cook at the 40-yard line, 6 yards past the sticks, and went directly through his mitts and out of bounds. It's 4th down Syracuse, and the punt unit hits the field.
That's one you have to connect on if you're Filardi. Cook ran the route correctly. You had him on the out route towards the sideline, and he just misses the target. It's as simple as that.
Brings up Jack Stonehouse again. He's been tremendous today. His last punt was downed inside the 10-yard line, averaging just around 48 yards per punt. He has his heels at the SU 19. Snap goes back. Stonehouse boots it. A high spiraling kick. Fair catch called for by Hardy at the 27-yard line. And that is where UNC will begin its first drive of the second half as Gio Lopez goes back out there. Lopez in the first half was significantly better than Filardi. Despite not being great this season, Lopez 7 of 11 for 86 yards in that first half. Has only passed for over 200 one time, and that was last week against UVA. A close game where UNC was just a possession away from taking down the number 17 team in the nation. Now they're in a dogfight with the 3-5 Orange. The ball at the 27-yard line of UNC. Gio Lopez in the shotgun. The back to his left is Damon June. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Orange jittery at the line. Chip in motion to the near side. Snap to Gio Lopez. Fake screen. Dump off the other way to June. Catches it at the 25. Cuts at the 30. Upfield at the 40. Breaks a tackle at the 45. Stiff arm down the sideline to the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. A beautiful screen pass to Damon June, and he takes it the other way, 63 yards to the house, and North Carolina surges back in front. 12-10 Tar Heels, 2 minutes in to the second half. The longest play of the season for North Carolina. Back in Vegas, 15:36 on the first half clock, and number 15 Iowa State leads Syracuse 6-3 with Luke Burgess. I'm Hudson Ridley. Luke, it has been a really sloppy game through these first 4 minutes. Betsy to inbound underneath the basket for the Orange. Kicks it into Kyle in the short corner. Cross-court feed intercepted by Heisey. Another turnover for the Orange. That's number 3 in the early going. Momcilovic back the other way for Iowa State. And Dominic Nelson resets straight away, guarded by Nate George. Feed inside for Jefferson, guarded by Kyan Anthony, a height mismatch of 5 inches. Hand off Heisey on a pick and roll. Kicks back up top, straight away Jefferson to the corner for Dominic Nelson, working on George. Bounce pass inside, knocked away off the knee of Kyle, and it ends up with George. The Orange back the other way. George cuts inside and slows it down as he rolls back out. Syracuse just one of its first 7. It's a 2-minute scoring drought for the Orange. George drives in, handoff. Kyle works straight at the rim. Fouled on the way up. Count the basket and the harm. William Kyle on the pick and roll, fights through the contact, and he'll get a chance at a 3-point play to tie this game. It's 6-5 Iowa State. 5.5 minutes in.
And that's what William Kyle can do for you when he's playing well. He has the ability to go up and make those tough shots at the basket. Now the question is he going to make the free throw? 1 for 6 yesterday. Not very good in the first game either.
That included 2 air balls as well. He's just 6 of 18 from the stripe on the season. His lone free throw is good. William Kyle knocks it down, and the Orange bench stands up in applause. It's tied at 6, 5.5 minutes in. Syracuse puts a press on Iowa State. The Cyclones break it across the timeline. Nelson into the paint, slows it down, kicks back out to Jefferson on the far wing. Guarded one-on-one with Betsy. Jefferson looks for a pass, cross-court feed. Momcilovic. Dribble handoff with Plata. Rolls to the left side, kicks out Jefferson. Inside Plata, dunk at the rim, blocked on the way up by Anthony, but a foul called. Kyan Anthony had perfect positioning on Plata. Got a hand in there, tried to push it away, but he got too much contact on the way up. It's 2 on the way from Dominicus Plata, the freshman from Germany.
Much better defensive energy. Last 2 possessions for the Orange. Forcing tough shots for Iowa State. They get the foul there, but that's going to happen.
This is a tough Iowa State team. First free throw from Plata offline. Still tied at 6. 5.5 minutes in. Plata, the first true international recruit under T.J. Otzelberger in his 5 years at Iowa State. He's got 2 of them out there on the court right now, though. Him and the freshman Killian Torre. Second free throw from Plata. Swishes. 7-6. Iowa State on top in the early going. 5.5 in. On the floor right now for Syracuse, it's Nate George with J.J. Starling in the backcourt, Kyan Anthony at the 3 with Tyler Betsy at the 4, and William Kyle in the center spot. Ball rolled up for Nate George. He takes it across the timeline, attacking the left basket. One-on-one with Nelson at the logo. Draws a double team. Kicks inside. Kyle on the roll. Back outside. Anthony, right wing 3. He got it. Kyan Anthony came into today missing his last 12 three-pointers. He's got one early on, and the Orange lead 9-7. 6 minutes in over number 15, Iowa State. Blake Buchanan, the center, back the other way for Iowa State. Picks up his dribble, kicks to the corner for Nelson, and he's fouled by Anthony in the corner on what was initially called a reach. That's 2 early fouls for Kyan Anthony, Luke.
Yeah, and that one, I don't know. I mean, definitely close, but in a game that I think you expect to get physical at some point, both teams are a little bit slow, so they're going to start to grab. I don't know if that's the tone you want to set as an official, but that's what they're doing, and so Kyan Anthony now has to watch out.
This could certainly be an out-of-control game. 2 teams that play at a high pace, but early in the morning at 10 a.m. Vegas time. There could be a lot of sloppy play. We've already seen the turnovers be an issue. Akir Soare checks in for William Kyle as the Orange make a change. Iowa State resets with Torre straight away. Lofted inside, pass tipped away by Betsy into the hands of Nate George. The Orange break out the other way. Transition pass stolen away by Jefferson. George turns it over. The Cyclones attacking the right hoop. It's Momcilovic straight away. Height mismatch on Kings. Takes him into the lane, stripped by Kings. Another turnover. Starling with a head of steam towards the left basket. Layup off the glass, it rolls in. The Orange lead up to 4, 11-7, Syracuse 6.5 minutes in.
J.J. Starling doing what he does best there. Turns on the Jets and scores.
Torre gets a screen, kicks to the corner. Momcilovic 3. No good. Off the back heel, rebounded by Betsy. Starling takes it across the timeline for the Orange. Working one-on-one on his defender. Gets it to Akir Soare in the corner. He's played nearly 60 minutes of action and still has not taken a shot for the Orange. Screen and roll with Anthony. Draws the double team. Kicks to the corner for Starling. Switches court to George. Three-pointer no good. Off the rim and then off the top of the backboard and out of bounds. It's Iowa State ball.
This story is tragic, but it needs to be talked about. In December of 2024, a hit-and-run accident in Thibodaux, Louisiana, took the life of 78-year-old veteran Herman Hall. In the days that followed, former LSU wide receiver Kyron Lacey was arrested on charges stemming from the crash. This set the internet on fire. Many who saw Lacey as a loudmouth, trash-talking receiver reveled in the fact that he was facing murder. Without any evidence, social media dug a hole for Lacey. His once promising draft stock plummeted. His life spiraled. In April, just weeks before the draft, Houston police responded to a different incident involving Lacey. When they found him, he was dead. Lacey took his own life at just 24 years old. Just days ago, the public was finally given access to the footage of that accident that started the whole story. CCTV showed that Lacey was nearly 100 yards away from the crash. He was never indicted. He was never even at fault. But to the internet, that didn't matter. Lacey was a son. He was an older brother to 5 siblings. The youngest, Liam, spoke at his funeral. With tears in his eyes, he called Kyron Lacey the best big brother I ever had. In a world where we jump to conclusions at light speed, in a time where we treat speculation as fact, we need to do our due diligence. As humans, we owe it to one another. Kyron Lacey didn't have to die, but we can't change that. What we can do is change how we behave moving forward. We'll talk to you next week again on No Poll.